Hi there, let's learn how to use our graphing calculator to solve a more complicated system of equations. So this one I actually have already done. I just recorded a video and realized it didn't record right, so now I'm redoing it. Part A, B, and C on the midterm practice, you could actually do by hand and you'd be fine. But then when we start to write this bigger system with large numbers, you kind of understand that technology would help us save some time. So if I know X is the number of adults, my first equation can be $25 per adult plus $10 per child. This is the money equation. And then the total is over here, 47,750. And then they tell us the number of children who visited was, which one's the number of children? That's Y. So here I have Y was 270 more than 6 times the number of adults. And I can write that as 6x plus 270. Now this one is already in slope-intercept form, so if I press y equals, I can pretty easily just type 6, here's the x, remember this x button, plus 270. Okay. Now the other one is in a standard form, even though it could be simplified. Let's divide this all by 10 and then get this over here. So it's going to be, instead of negative 25x, we divide that by 10. It's going to be y equals negative 2.5x plus 4775. Now this is the part that made me think, let's use a calculator. So negative, remember the negative is down here. So I'm going to press this one, and then I'm going to press this one. You're going to see that's different. You see it's a negative symbol and a minus. So if you put a minus instead of a negative, it's going to say error syntax. So that's one of the most common mistakes kids make. 2.5x plus 4775. Okay, so now in a system of equations, their solution is where these two linear equations meet. So if they intersect at a point, where they point would be true for both of these things. So if I just press graph right now, you're thinking, oh no, I did something wrong. It's thinking, but I don't see anything. It's because our window's messed up, right? Let's look back at the equations. You see this y-intercept is 5,000. So I want to make my window to get my y-intercept or y max to be 5,000. So I'm going to count by maybe 500s. I actually don't need to go into negative. Um, Maybe let's do 5,000 adults, which I don't think is the case. Now if I adjust this window and press graph, it should show up. Let's see. Boom, boom. Great, we got it. You could think, oh, that's great. I could find the equation. Let's find the intersection. You totally can. However, I'm going to adjust my window just because I didn't need it to be this far over. I probably could have done half of it for x, and then I still have my little x-intercept here. Okay, so let's find where they meet. Now, if I just go like this, it's not really gonna give me the exact point. It gives me something close, right? But we want to. I bet you it's not gonna be a decimal of a person. And you might think, oh, I know how to do this. We go to the table and find when they're equal. Yeah, but it's gonna take a long time of holding down. So, oh, they're getting closer. Let's just go to calculate their intersection. That's second and trace so I get to the calc. And we want to calculate where these two lines intersect. Press enter or 5. And now it says first curve. And you can see up here. The first curve is this one. And that's the first line we have. So I press enter on that. Second line is there. Now it says give us a guess. So I'm going to put the arrows just to get kind of close to the intersection. It doesn't need to be right on it. And then we got our answer. And that is x equals 530. And that is what, adults? and y equals 3, 4, 50 kids. And then remember this, you got to be careful. It says the total number of visitors. So you just add this up. 0893. There were 3,980 total visitors that day. Okay, so that is how you use a graphing calculator. Remember, you go into the y equals, make sure if your graphs don't like show up, it's because maybe, look, I have them untoggled. So if I click view, I don't see it. I need to go here. Or if you had, so then my graphs show up. Or maybe you accidentally have the stat plot turned on still. So when you do this, you see like I have little dots over here I don't want to see. I'm just going to turn off my stat plot by pressing enter on it. And then you want to set a good window where you can see everything. I like having like 10 tick marks. So you can just divide your max by 10. So I could do 250 even. Then you see like it's counting by a satisfying number. And then using a table wasn't going to be good because it was when x is 500, right? And that'd take a long time to get there. So we go to calc and you can find when they intersect. Cool. So I hope that was super duper helpful. That was just 7 minutes, but I think it is going to be a great strategy to help you save time in the future. All right, take care.